Hey folks, we have got a real threat to our freedom of speech and of the press happening right now. Most of you know that I just became a Playboy celebrity because Rule 13 told me that Hugh Hefner's dying wish was that I would pose for Playboy and be the Playmate of the Century. So I told Rule 13, well, I'll do it if Brent Spiner, my husband, says it's okay. So Brent Spiner communicated with me over Skype, and he said, Gail, I don't have a problem with this. It's fine with me. And then Jesus Christ showed up and said, Gail, I'm not going to order you to do it, but I just want you to know I approve of it if you want to do it. He says, I approve of nudity. If I wanted women to wear clothes, then I wouldn't have had babies born naked. So, and okay, so I just got a notice from Facebook at my email, and they're being very vague about this. They're not telling me how I violated their terms of service, but this is what they said. They said, hello, a post you made contains content that violates our terms of use. This message serves as a warning. Additional violations will result in the termination of your account. Please read our terms carefully and refrain from posting abusive material in the future. Thanks in advance for your understanding and cooperation, the Facebook team. So I thought, what was it? Was it my Playboy picture? I mean, I don't get it. I'm trying to figure, I haven't really changed my Facebook presentation. I think what's really happening is I think that Loree McBride is behind this. And she just, now that I am a Playboy celebrity, she finds it threatening. You see, Loree McBride's narrative is that a celebrity like Brent Spiner never had a relationship with me, that I'm just this crazy lady who has delusions that Brent Spiner and I have had a long distance relationship. But that's because our relationship's unusual. So I guess because it's unusual, that means it never existed or it's not valid. So what she's been doing is parading as the wife of Brent Spiner. She obtained her relationship with Brent Spiner through drug rape, and we can prove this in a court of law, and we have. Though poor Brent just had a court case with his clone, he's been trying to get his Twitter back from his clone, and he went to court about it, and he also sued the clone for defamation because the clone went on his Twitter and claimed and actually mentioned me by name while he was tweeting with somebody and said that I have mental health issues and I should not be encouraged. That's not the real Brent. Brent would never say that. People, I know. I heard Brent Spiner's voice on the phone, and it was Brent Spiner. He called me in 1991 through 1993, before Loree McBride clamped down on it, and made love to me on the phone. Okay? I have no doubt that I heard his voice. So if I have delusions, then maybe I need to get my hearing checked, okay? But my hearing is excellent. I have no doubt Brent talked to me on the phone. You might say, well, then who's this guy on Brent's Twitter? It is the Brent Spiner Jew clone. He is not the real Brent Spiner. He's a criminal and a terrorist, and he's working with his compatriot in crime, Loree McBride, and those two are working together to try to take over the world for Satan. And I'm not exaggerating it. She has Antichrist powers right now. And she has to shut me down because I am a threat, because I am the lone voice of truth in this world. I'm exposing her and everything. And now that I'm a Playboy celebrity, I am getting to be believable and credible. So she's got to shut me down, just like she took out Bill O'Reilly at Fox News, and like she tried to take out Sean Hannity at Fox News, and like she's trying to take down Donald Trump. Okay, I think what she finds threatening is I just wrote some new law, okay? We have invented a weapon to try to take her down. So my guess is maybe that's what Facebook is saying violates their terms of use, that I'm advertising this weapon to take down Loree McBride and the Jew clones. If that's the case, then they're believing her narrative that all she is the legit wife of a celebrity and not that she is the head of a terrorist organization, which she is. Okay? Facebook, you need to get your facts straight. Okay? I don't know what's going on. I don't know I don't even know what, you won't even tell me which post it is. The mere fact that Facebook won't tell me which post it is that I posted that is offensive. I'm here. You know what my gut reaction is when I hear this? It's like, oh, I just need to shut up. Anything I say, I might get in trouble. I can't post this. Maybe if I post this, I'll get in trouble. Maybe if I post that, I'll get in trouble. You know what you're doing, Facebook? You're intimidating me. I have done nothing wrong. Nothing. All I've done is told the truth. Okay, they're kind of hinting to me that it was that I did something. What did they say? They said abusive. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what was abusive. So I thought maybe they're claiming that the Playboy shot was it, but that wouldn't be abusive. You know, if that's the case, you'd have to arrest Cindy Crawford and all those other people who posed for Playboy. So that's not it. It must be the new law that I wrote. I don't know. They won't tell me. I wrote them an email that says, can you tell me what it is I posted that's a violation of your terms of service? I'm totally in the dark. I think Loree's behind this, and she deliberately told them not to be specific because she's trying to intimidate me. She wants me to shut up. And my Facebook page, you know, I'm very verbal on my Facebook page. And Facebook's a real good medium for me to get the truth out, and she wants to clamp down on that and just shut me up. She doesn't want to be exposed for the terrorist, murderer, fraud, defamer, rapist, killer, no good, evil woman that she is. Literally, and I'm not exaggerating, she was behind the Las Vegas massacre. I'm certain of it. And that, would you look at that picture of that guy that went around killing everybody there? That they say killed everybody? I personally think he was part of the conspiracy. I don't think he acted alone. But, you know how big his nose is? I mean, so that's anti-Semitism. No, we're just stating a fact. Zach Knight and I have learned that Loree McBride, when she tried to replace all the people in Israel with clones, with Jew clones, one of their characteristics is apparently when Loree McBride tries to make Jew clones, their nose comes out really big. It's apparently a defect in the cloning technology, and that's one way to spot them. Like if you if Brent Spiner and his clone, you put their faces side by side, you would notice that the clone's nose is slightly bigger than Brent Spiner's. He's got a huge nose, which may be why he's removed his photo from Brent Spiner's Twitter, because he doesn't want people to study him too good because they're going to figure out he's not the real Brent Spiner. You say, how can you be so sure you've had the real Brent Spiner in your life? You know, it wasn't easy for me to decide to commit long-distance adultery with Brent Spiner. I considered it adultery back then. But he just had so much depth of feeling and transparency, like I described in my last video, that I have a very high emotional IQ. In fact, Jesus says I've got the highest IQ of any woman on the planet. And my emotional IQ determined that back in the 1990s that Brent Spiner was a man of depth, intelligence, emotional sensitivity, and capable of loving me like Jesus loves the church. In fact, Jesus has told me that he said, Gail, Brent loves you as much as I love you. Now that's quite a statement. In fact, Brent has literally died for me many times. The mere fact that he took on Loree McBride as his public girlfriend, he only did that for one reason. Because Loree threatened to kill me if he wouldn't do that. If he was a lesser man than he was, he wouldn't have even allowed her to do that. He would have just said, to hell with this. I'm not playing her game, and I don't care if Gail gets killed. I'm just going to dump her and just drop this whole thing. But no. He knew he was the one who started the romance between us. And he was a man enough to honor what he said to me on the phone. And he also made the music album, Old Yellow Eyes Is Back. You know what? That Brent Spiner clone could never sing Old Yellow Eyes Is Back. Never. he could never sing it with the feeling and depth and commitment like the real Brent Spiner did. So that's how I know. And when I go to the Twitter, I've been following Brent's Twitter. I mean, I read it. I've been reading it since about 2013 or 14 or so. And I could tell when the clone took over the Twitter. The clone is a shallow, kind of alt-left social justice warrior. And he doesn't have anything deep and meaningful to say at that Twitter. And though both he and Brent are jokers, Brent's jokes are genuinely funny. The clone's jokes are dorky and shallow. And you can tell the clone, when he says things, he has an agenda. The real Brent doesn't. Okay, to make a long story short, I think what the real threat is I've been advertising on Facebook that we need men to help contribute semen to our weapons. We actually use semen in our weapons to try to take out Loree McBride. And I was thinking with my Playboy appearance, it might be easier for men to give us semen. So men out there, if you feel like I do, that we need to take down terrorism in the world, and Loree McBride is the head of the most important terrorist network in the world, please contribute your semen to us. It helps us in the weapons that we use to try to take out terrorism in the world. And Loree McBride is the head of all the major terrorist networks in the world. That's Gail's Men, GAILSMEN @yahoo.com. I think this is where I have violated Facebook's policies. You see, they feel that my attempt to ask men to contribute semen to our weapons is, what do they call it? What is it? Is abusive. Oh, Facebook. It's abusive. It's abusive to take out an Adolf Hitler. It's abusive to take out a Joseph Stalin. You say, oh, Loree McBride is yes, she's worse than Hitler and Stalin. At least everybody knew they were bad. She's bad, and she's got a lot of people fooled into thinking she's just an innocent celebrity wife. Oh, no, man. That's her front. You know, the most dangerous terrorists out there are the ones that trick you into thinking they're a good person. Look, if Loree McBride succeeds in shutting me down, she's already taken down Bill O'Reilly. She's basically got control of mainstream news. She's got control of the internet. When you go online and do a search for Brent Spiner's wife, she comes up. Even though the evidence is overwhelming that I am the true wife of Brent Spiner. We haven't been able to get together, but the evidence is overwhelming. But when you control the online news, when you control the internet, when you control the news, when you control the magazines and the publicity, see, she's worried because I'm now a Playboy celebrity. That gives me some credibility. People are going to start listening to what I have to say, and she does not want people to read what I have to say, because I am one of the most courageous voices for truth out there. Okay, men? If I get shut down at Facebook, folks, you can find me here at YouTube, at Twitter. I also have a website, GabrielChana.com. And I got a book coming out. That book that's coming out, Bible for Tribulation Saints, that might be a concern of hers, but I think she's more concerned about the fact that I am now a Playboy celebrity. She's been telling everybody. She's saying that she's so hot and young and gorgeous that there's no way Brent Spiner could have ever wanted me when he had her, and that I just can't compare with her. Did you know I'm 60 years old and I'm a Playboy? I mean, she's really threatened. And I hear that when she saw my Playboy shot, she actually got wet from she got turned on so much, she was oozing the juices that women make when they get turned on. But yet she was saying, oh, she's fat. No man would want her while she was turned on at the same time. We found out she was being. Anyways, folks, if Facebook turns me off, okay, I'm just letting you know what happened, okay? You know where to find me. I'll have the links underneath this video. And men, we need your semen. Contact my men at gailsmen@yahoo.com. We've got to take down this terrorist.